All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Privacy Paradigm live stream. This is our new live stream series here at COTI, where we interview and have discussions with the pioneers and frontiers of privacy and Web3. I am Amateo, the CMO here at COTI, and I am here with Dan, the co founder of United Network. Dan, if you would give a little introduction to everybody who's tuning in today.
Hey everyone, nice to be here with you. Thanks, Amateo. Thanks, COTI, for having me here. So my name is Dan. I'm a co-founder of United Network. You may have seen us in COTI social media and maybe somewhere else. So we are a hardware wallet in a card form factor, and I guess we'll talk in deep today about it.
Yeah, cool. I'm excited to talk about it. I just think what you guys have built is really amazing. Hardware wallet and a card form factor, just it makes a lot of sense. So we'll get into the details of all of that. But today we're going to cover the integration of coding and privacy transactions in United Network. We're going to talk a little bit more about United Network and how it works and your origin story and the importance of wallet and security. And one other thing that we've got going on today is we just launched a giveaway where everyone who's tuning in today can get their own United Network hardware wallet. We have a giveaway that's pinned on our X profile that is basically follow us on social, follow United Network on social, like this live stream, and give this live stream a boost, share it with your friends. Take a screenshot of the fact that you've tuned in and uploaded it. It's all on Task On, and create your own hardware wallet. Transfer even just one COTI token into the wallet, into software wallet that you can then verify, and then you win a hardware. So that's how it's going to work. We have it all set up for you guys to join. So don't miss out on that. You also have the opportunity to win 2,500 COTI tokens. We've got 10 winners that we will select at random. So just wanted to get the giveaway out of the way before we kick everything off. But yeah, Dan, we were talking before the live stream started, and I think we'd be remiss to not address the elephant in the room before we kind of get, got to read the room a little bit. Ultimately, we know that the market sucks right now. This is brutal, right? What's kind of your take on things at the moment?
So actually, it's good to be building a hardware project in the blockchain market, and it's good to be a project without a token right now because you benefit a lot of not being crashed by the market. Because I guess it doesn't matter what you do right now, which good or bad project you have. If you have a token, you will be suffering a lot, and it's happening not only in crypto; it's everywhere. Gold and silver is also crashing for the last week. So I guess we're at the start of something big. Hopefully it's the fall before the great dusk. So we'll see.
We'll see. Obviously, no one knows where this stuff is headed. If there is one thing that I do know is that it really feels like something is sort of breaking and changing in the financial system. That feels kind of clear. Like, I don't know where we go from here, but things are changing, and as a result of that, I think once the dust settles, with the infrastructure that's being built, with the rails that are being established, with this changing of the guard, with more and more assets being tokenized, um, I really truly believe that infrastructure that's being laid today, the projects that are building through this are going to really emerge strong, because the fact that it shows that the system is breaking shows that the system needs replacing, and that's what crypto and blockchain are here for. And that's why we build through the bear and we build through the bull. No matter what happens, builders will build, and that's what we're doing. So we're stoked to talk about what you've built, Dan. Why don't you give us a little highlight on United Network? What's the background? How did this project come to being?
So actually, I'm into the hardware manufacturing for almost 10 years. So me and my co-founder, we had and still have another project in hardware IoT, and it's not related to crypto or blockchain at all. And around 5, 6 years ago, we've been involved in blockchain development a lot, and um, we've built different projects, and then we realized 3 years ago we were at the meeting with some with the CEO of some big fintech company, and we had a discussion about the future of blockchain in Web2 projects, in governmental projects. And he told us like he hated everything about blockchain and crypto, but he told us if someone or if you guys create an transparent layer of crypto, so users won't even understand that there is a blockchain underneath,
Mm,
still gonna utilize all the best things you're talking about blockchain, then maybe I'll consider working with some blockchain
mm,
related companies. So we didn't get back to him, so, but we started to brainstorm what can we do, and we decided to collide two things that we do good: hardware development and blockchain development. So having hardware engineers, we were choosing the chips, because the most important part here in our product is the chip. So we were talking to different manufacturers, and we've selected NXP, one of the biggest ones on the market, and we collaborate with them for a long time. And then we were choosing the right chip with them, because different chips that are being used with different credit cards, debit cards,
mhm.
banks, payment systems, they're used for different purposes. So we chose the one that the cryptography of which was excellent for our needs for signing transactions on the chip. And then for almost 3 years, started 2023, we've been developing. So we were in R&D phase for almost 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and in July 2025, we have launched finally with a product. And I guess we're going to talk of some things that we were overcoming and some technical things, how it was uh, solved, and etc. But that's the background actually.
Wow, congrats on getting it to market. People don't understand the years and the hard work and the difficulty that goes into some of these things.
Yep.
Uh, I I always talk about like that there's all these different crypto and blockchain prophecies, like they're like mass adoption prophecies of like all these things that people predict. But I think one of them that really stands out to me is the everyone using crypto without realizing that they're using crypto, right?
Yep.
And like that's the thing. Like if I have a card and I'm going to a merchant, I'm going to the gas station, I'm going to the grocery store, and I'm swiping that card and I'm actually paying with crypto, but no one knows that I'm paying with crypto, that's really powerful. Um, so it sounds like that was kind of the part of the inspiration from this guy that drew you guys into creating this. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Because crypto is becoming a mainstream. We see stable coins being used on daily basis by businesses today. For example, I've just read a few days ago that Y Combinator is going to pay some of their alumni their payouts in stable coins, which is great because I guess what you've mentioned before, this is we are on some point of changes in the financial system and the current
Yeah.
financial systems, and realizing that we understand that building something that can be used by masses, that can be a tool for the mass adoption, uh, that feels great. It's a hard road actually. It's a very hard road because building for 3 years, not even known like will it ever be needed. But when we
Mhm.
do the COSDEF, for example, or we work with other businesses or talking to some governments, we realize that okay, we're on the right track, and we're gonna receive a lot after after the years of development and hard work.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, we're not a spring chicken project ourselves, right? We've been around.
Yeah,
We're vintage at this point. We've been around for a while. I'm newer to the project, but the project's been around for a long time, and that years and years of development efforts that brought us to garbled circuits. But I think that that's really the case. So, um, uh, one thing that went viral, I think last week or the week before, that was a clip of the like biggest streamer of one of the biggest streamers of the world, if not the biggest. I Show Speed was in Africa, and he was
yeah,
in Africa. You saw that?
yeah.
Yeah, he's in Africa, and he goes to pay for something, and they ask him to pay in stablecoins, in U.S. based stablecoin in Africa, and that's due to inflation. That's due to economic instability. Um, uh, it's there's still there's not to get into the economics of there's still demand for dollars like that
Yeah.
hasn't completely evaporated. Let's be real, stable coins prove that case. But um, this global acceptance with people who are in varying circumstances. I'll share a story I haven't shared in a long time, which is one of the things that really cemented my belief in Bitcoin. Was I was in outside of Tulum, Mexico, in 2017, and there was a Mayan market, little tiny Mayan market where you could get fresh eggs and some jungle vegetables. It's really hard to find actually good vegetables in the jungle, ironically. And um, and I went there, and they only accepted Mexican pesos or Bitcoin, and I was
Wow.
like shocked. This was a long time ago, and so I was like, "How? Why did you?" And she just said someone told her in her community to accept Bitcoin and that it was a good thing, so she started doing it. So of course, like even though I went back to my place, had to transfer it out of the cold storage to go back there and send it to her because I was like, "I'm gonna do this," and I sent her Bitcoin for a couple dozen eggs. I still think about her today. I hope she saved it
She
all
kept
and
it.
did well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope she kept it. But I mean, it shows just like there's really a global demand for these things. And so yeah, so like let's maybe bring the conversation a little bit more to privacy and our integration. So let's talk a little bit about how you guys uh, are really breaking ground by being the first hardware and wallet provider to integrate COTI for privacy first transactions. So tell us a little bit about that.
So actually, just a little bit background for how the things works in United Network. I mean, technically, uh, like I've told already that the whole magic is happening on the chip. And we have supported all the different cryptography curves of different types of blockchains on the chip. And we have different blockchains like Bitcoin, EVM type blockchains, Solana like, etc. And then when we integrate other blockchains, for example, EVM like blockchains, we add it on the front end. And the difference with COTI was we've integrated it in several steps. So first, we've added a basic integration of COTI as the layer 2 network. And the second step for us was to integrate private transactions, because the beauty of COTI, why I liked it. I remember our first calls with your team. And I remember that we were talking a lot about the future of crypto, why COTI is on the market, why we try to penetrate the market, what we plan to do. And I've realized that we have a lot in common in terms of the privacy and the things that we are trying to solve. So we've integrated privacy transactions and private tokens. It means that on the wallet level, now you can, for example, receive a private token. To unlock it, to even see the balance, you need to sign a transaction. So you need to tap your card, because every time you sign a transaction with United Network, you just tap your card to your smartphone, signing it by NFC and FIDO. So it's like a separate encryption level above the NFC. And you sign the transaction to unlock the token. Then you see your balance, for example, if you want to send it. You send the transaction, you sign it again 2 times to decipher the token information, and then to sign the transaction as is, sending. And then in scanner, you're not going to see the target wallet address and the amount of tokens you have sent. So technically, it's like this sounds pretty easy, right? But technically, most of the work has already been done by COTI. We have integrated it on the hardware and software levels to support it. It was several months of work for us, but not only this, because we are a small team and we have multiple tasks in parallel. But we did it for I guess 2 months, and finally we have released it. It works great. It works in parallel with other tokens, so you can send both private and simple tokens on COTI. But the future here, I see personally, is this solution can be already introduced, for example, to governments for CBDCs, because they care a lot about the privacy. They care a lot, for example, if the scanner is public and everyone can see the balances of all the citizens for CBDC case,
Right.
that's not acceptable, right? You can't make the system public, because if you're going to see that your neighbor's balance is like 1 million USDT or whatever USDC, you will be either jealous, or if you're a bad guy, you can do something bad, right? But having private transactions means that it's going to be private. The privacy is the most important part for big public projects. The second one is self-custody, and that when where we come in place, because the accessibility of a card form factor and the security of hardware wallet makes it easy and still secure to use for people, and privacy transactions make it private, sorry for the tautology, for every entity that is being involved in this process. So, yep, that's quite it.
I mean, amazing. So, a couple things that I will highlight here is the thing that COTI's done that's very unique is we've got years of actually building functional privacy that people can utilize at scale, right? And you highlighted a use case, but it's really important, right? So let's go back to this viral moment of iShowSpeed paying a merchant with stablecoin, right? iShowSpeed could go into his transaction history and actually see how much money is in that merchant's wallet. That could really make that merchant feel very uncomfortable and not okay with the fact that it's just visible to someone. Now take that and scale it up. What if it's an enterprise? What if it's even a grocery store that wants to accept stable coins? They don't necessarily want all the money that's in their balance. Not only does it open them up to threat actors, but it also is not the way of doing business. You don't get to find out what money is in whose account. And so this was, I think, been very revelatory for the crypto market and for people who have been looking to embrace it, right? Because all of a sudden we've got these amazing rails that have been built with stable coins, with Bitcoin, with EVM and Ethereum-based tokens, with non-EVM tokens. And there was this big push for enterprises, institutional adoption, merchant adoption, and let's set the stage of this, right? But as these institutions, enterprises, and merchants went to go and embrace the technology, it became revealed that the transparent nature of the blockchain has advantages, but has some disadvantages to their standard operating procedures, to their necessary compliance requirements, and even to keeping their assets safe and their customers safe in the process of these things, which is why privacy comes in and becomes so important. And what I love about what you guys did is that you not only saw the value of this, you recognize that garbled circuits in our tech stack could actually deliver this, but you have made it functional. You've made it already usable to use private transactions and private tokens in an easy way with a card that people can process, they can accept payments, and they can do all of this through United Network. I just think that's amazing. So, you know, not trying to put anybody else on blast here, but like there's demos out there where people make a specific private transaction internally, or they do a little bit of shielding. That is completely different from a fully functional card being able to do merchant and customer based transaction processing right now with privacy and private tokens, and that's thanks to COTI and United Network.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really wild. Any other use cases or things that you can think about there that excites you when it comes to privacy?
I guess general, even to choose if I want my wallet to be private or not, because the
Mm,
freedom is always about the choice. So if we're talking about, you highlighted the enterprises and businesses, it's very important. But also, if I'm using the wallet for my personal everyday daily usage, yes, and I'm sending someone money for the services they did for me, or just, I don't know, lending some money to someone, I don't want them to see how many tokens do I have. Either I will create a separate wallet and I will do it through the exchange. I tried, so it's too complicated right now. If you want to hide
mhm.
how much money do you have, right? So if I, as a user, have an option to hide my balance and to make my wallet fully private, that's a good thing in the privacy part, because just to mention again, the freedom is always about the choice. I guess we're going to the new financial system where people gonna choose how they manage their money, how their money are being used, and who has access to this money, right? And it's the most important part that I can see here.
Amazing, amazing. Um, Building on privacy, let's talk a little bit about security. So you guys also take security really seriously, and you do physical key isolation. So talk to us a little bit about like your security protocols and how United Network manages security and private keys.
So we separate it into several layers. First of all, let's talk about the card. So when the card is new, when you receive your wallet, the card is empty. It doesn't have any private keys on the chip. In the moment of creation, when you tap your card first to your smartphone, the private key is being generated and then displayed as a seed phrase, right? So we can get away from the seed phrase still, but the private key is being generated, and the seed phrase actually is the more convenient way of reading the private key, because private key is just letters and numbers. But for better user experience, all the wallets use seed phrases. So you write down your seed phrase, you create a PIN code, which is transferred to the chip. So the PIN code is stored on the chip locally. And it's the only thing that is enabled for the records inside the chip. So the chip is being protected for any records being put there. So you cannot erase it. You cannot put any other data, a part of the private key and the PIN code. So the PIN code is being saved on the chip, and you create 4, 6, or 8 digit PIN code. Every time you sign a transaction, you need to tap your card to verify that the private key the public key that is being stored on the front end and the private key are matching. You sign it, you enter your PIN code, voila, the transaction is being sent and confirmed. If, for example, someone steals your card, right, and he gonna try to brute force your PIN code, you have 8 attempts to enter your PIN code.
Mhm.
After that, the card is being erased and it's still empty. So the next time after the 8 incorrect attempts, the card will be blocked, and you can just create a new private key with the new addresses, and the access to the previous balances will be lost. So you're connected here either from any software attack because you need a PIN code, and a hardware attack because if someone steals your card, he won't be able to get access to your money. Two more important things. I've mentioned that we have FIDO. FIDO is the technology that is being used by big companies like Google, Apple, Microsoft, etc. It's actually the layer for 2FA physical keys that is used mostly for that. It is used either by NFC connection or USB connection. We use the NFC one. And it has some encryption that encrypts the NFC connectivity between the card and the smartphone. Because the NFC by itself is a very open protocol.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, it has a lot of data that is being transferred. And just theoretically, if someone puts a big NFC antenna and he tries to listen the traffic between your smartphone and the card, he will gonna see the private keys, etc. So FIDO adds the layer above that encrypts it on the system level, because FIDO is integrated in iOS and Android on the system level, so you don't need to. So we didn't create it by ourselves. We just integrated the FIDO in the chip software inside, so it supports the protocol. And it's great because it helps us to create even some external rules a part of the basic encryption. For example, we can whitelist the domains, the web domains, which can be used with this card. So we have united.network as our main domain, right? And if someone creates a copycat of our website and tries to mimic it to our wallet, the card will just reject the signing of transaction on other domains and says like rejected, because the whitelist, the domain is not whitelisted on the chip, because it's also already hard-coded inside the chip software. So it also helps to prevent these types of attacks that we have seen a lot with other software wallets, for example. And only having a hardware wallet helps us to make things like that.
Wow, that's really cool.
People don't realize. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, people don't realize the vulnerability of NFC. So like at the big hacker conventions, they release NFC antennas and bots, and they hijack people's credit card numbers with their credit card never leaving their pocket. They'll even have screens posted at the hacker conventions that just shows everybody's credit card number to just show what a vulnerability it is. So the fact that you've got encrypted NFC signals is just really cool. And it's amazing to see how far these chips have come. These chips aren't easy to acquire. as I'm sure you know, there's a lot of supply chain complexity.
Yep.
And especially when you're trying to do like advanced programming and functionality. So it's pretty impressive. But I want to hear your third point.
The third point, that we're fully backendless. So we don't have any backend, we don't have any servers. It means that it's one less point of vulnerability for us, because we have only the chip software that is here on the chip, and we have the front end. It's the web application or the application. We are fully web functioning, but we don't store anything in any database. We don't have any databases. We don't store any user data. We don't store any private keys somewhere on our servers, etc. And it means that for us, we've spent actually 6 extra months of development to make it possible, because it's very easy to make when you have a backend, when you can keep the hash of the transactions somewhere, the history of the transactions in your database, etc. But we've chosen the harder way, and it's a little bit more complicated and somewhere a little bit limited. But in the end, it's all about security, and so all about the user experience.
That's really cool. That is hard to do. Your system naturally wants to log everything, right? Like that's how it's built. So to have remove the logs and keep it all natively within the individual. And I love what you said too. Like if I'm a user, I've got my hardware wallet, maybe I'm not quite comfortable just taking my card around and scanning it everywhere, but I want to use it on all of my subscription services or sites that I trust. I can basically white label all these domains. I can white label addresses and make sure that like the card is only used in these specific ways or purposes. That's also really, really fascinating. Um, so I just think you guys have done a phenomenal job. Right, like I always, people who have listened to me talk, hear me talk a lot about hard things becoming easy, and how software was a really hard thing. Now it's becoming easier. But people maybe will underappreciate how hard the things that you have achieved are. Just like it's very easy to start using private tokens or accessing garbled circuits on COTI and go, oh, okay, this is cool. This is really easy to use. Well, it was a really hard problem to solve, right? It was a really private transactions. Even the you can enable private transactions, but good luck reading them. Good luck reading
Yeah.
amounts of balances. These are really hard problems to solve. How do you create this selective confidentiality that reveals certain data, but actually protects other data at the same time? And so when you're making the hard problem of security and privacy enabled in an easy form factor for people, that's like you're stacking hard problems in an easy utility. It's really cool to see. Um, yeah, let's talk a little bit about like just sort of the wallet ecosystem, right? So uh, right now, 22% of wallets are cold or hardware, as compared to hot wallets. So hot wallets are very, very popular still. Um, can you just emphasize the importance for everyone tuning in why they should use a system like United Network, and the vulnerabilities in not using a system like United Network?
I would go even above the software wallets first, because if we talk about the custody of the funds, usually it's users try to and tend to keep their tokens on the centralized exchanges, not realizing that it is the most dangerous thing to do, because even if you keep it on the top tier one exchanges, you're not protected of either the exchange being hacked, for example, or the exchange being, I don't know, disrupted or bankrupted, like FTX, for example.
Mhm.
You don't know what's going to happen with the money which are actually not yours, right? Because we all know that centralized exchanges, the custody of the money is fully with the custodians they have, and they tend to use people's money in their liquidity pools, etc. And this is the first thing. After FTX collapsed, the sales of hardware wallets, they spiked, and a
Mhm.
lot of users realized, okay, if that's not safe, what are the alternatives? And the first one is software wallets. Like we know, the biggest players are like MetaMask, Trust Wallet, etc. Um, this is this is the most popular way of a part of exchanges to store the funds. But the problem is that the private key is being stored somewhere inside the smartphone, in the application, in your phone memory, and it's not safe, because if someone gets access to your phone, for example, you're in the tube, like in the metro station, right, and you enter your passcode on your iPhone. Someone's just like having a side eye and like, okay, it's 4 zeros. He steals your phone, 4 zeros. He goes to MetaMask again. Face ID is not recognized. You put the passcode. You send all the money from the phone. Boom. It's like you're not protected anymore, because um, the problem is that you don't need anything extra apart of your smartphone. So
Mhm.
either you pay a lot of attention of protecting your smartphone and not being stolen, and you don't keep your money, all of your savings in one wallet, or everything in one software wallet. Just try to divide it. But the best way, of course, is to use the hardware wallets or cold wallets, because the private key is not on the device that where you see your balance, for example. You need the hardware wallet and some extra internal device like a smartphone or the laptop or the PC, whatever you use. The problem with other hardware wallets, not even the problem. The nature of other hardware wallets, usually you need the laptop, the cable, the USB cable, and the device. You need
Yeah.
to install some software, then to connect your hardware wallet to some browser extension. Like in MetaMask, you connect other hardware wallets, and it's too complicated. I've seen a
Hmm.
lot of people who are like on the basic level, they know about crypto, they've bought Bitcoin, they sold it, and they see like, okay, I have USDT, but I don't want to keep it on some centralized exchange. Uh, Help me to set up my hardware wallet. I don't want to share some brand names, but help me to install and set up this hardware wallet, because I can't. Because it takes you like 15 minutes to do everything. You need to do it right, and the user experience is too like it's a rocket science. So having card form factor solves the complexity. So you make hardware wallet still secure but accessible for the
Yeah.
people who cares a lot about the security of their money. So yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I mean, I know you won't name names. I'll name one name, which is so uh, kind of after a lot of the exchange collapse. I mean, I was already using hardware wallets, but I was very much like um, sort of loyal to the ledger,
Yes.
and went through the whole software. Like had everything set up, but then I was a part of that hack where they leaked all the email addresses,
Hmm.
and I still get scam and spam links that opened. I'm cautious enough. I've been working in crypto long enough that I know what not to click, but but it's really concerning, and kind of brings me back to the point that you guys aren't saving logs, where it's like that's it. Like even if you think you're doing the right thing, that woke up a lot of people to like this is still a vector, and like you guys have also solved that, which I think is really cool.
Yep. Actually, I have a lot of respect to Ledger because they're
Sure.
great. They're, in my honest opinion, one of the best players in the whole blockchain market, because they're the example that hardware projects can be very successful,
Hmm.
and they proved that self custody is important. For me, they
Yeah.
were the first one to make it, to emphasize on that, and they
Mhm.
made people to believe that it's important. So yeah,
Yeah, totally.
much more respect to them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I do too. It's just one of those things that affected me, and it's good to see how do we be mindful of these things. Um, what do you feel like are some of the trends around hardware wallets? This, in spite of market conditions, uh, crypto is going to grow, and that's just something I want to like really emphasize for everyone who's tuning in, anyone who's licking their wounds. This stuff is not going away. It's not dead. AI has not replaced blockchain. People are using AI to build on blockchain. Agents are already embracing it. This is a big growth trend that's going to continue.
Yep.
Um, and with that, I think we're going to see a lot of growth within wallets. Um, what do you feel like are some of the trends that are coming up?
In terms of the AI trend, we have some internal experiments in AI with AI for the wallet. But I would say that these are the small features that can benefit the user experience, the general user
Mhm.
experience. But I've heard this summer I was in the London Tech conference, and one guy I was listening to his speech, and he told like, if you want to integrate AI, you need to integrate it on the core level of your business,
Mm,
because if you don't do it, it will be just a gimmick for your product. Because
right.
we see a lot of products right now that are integrating chatbots inside their apps. They don't even know why, because their CEO or someone told to the developer, "Go make me something with AI because our investors they want it." Yes, or our capitalization will grow because we'll integrate AI something. But in the end, it won't help them, or maybe they will. The focus will be shifted from the important parts of the business. So I tend to say that in the blockchain, you either make it very cautious in a cautious way. when you integrate some AI features, or you don't do it at all, because we don't want two different technologies to collide and to create some kind of a collision for the users. In terms of trends and in terms of the wallet trends, I see a lot of like some companies, they do wearables as the wallets, and it's a good thing, because the whole market is standing for the mass adoption. We want people to use wallets with even more simplicity, with greater user experience. So you will set up your wallets in like 30 seconds. You will give it to your grandma and she will understand how to use it. The trend that we see, and the next stage of development for us, is the integration of the hardware wallet part with stablecoins, CBDCs, and national payment systems. So we want to emphasize that hardware wallets is not only for the crypto community, for them as well, but we want to grow bigger and to extend the technology usage for unbanked people in Asia, in Africa, for those who can't use banking services, but as you have mentioned with iShowSpeed example, they use stable coins and they still know what is a credit card. It's easy for them to use. They shouldn't know what is blockchain, what is crypto, but they will use their tokens that will be sent to them, and they will go to the merchant and they will just send it in the tap, just tap to send it. It's easy. And I guess that's the trend that we need to be following, because like even 10 years ago, everyone were talking how to buy pizza with BTC, like you did in Mexico, like not even 10 years ago, it's 2026 already. Wow. So even like 15 years ago, like in 2011, the pizza day, I guess it happened in 2011. Yeah, so 15 years ago, people are still thinking about that. We have a lot of crypto card projects, but they utilize the rails of Visa and MasterCard, and it has some virtuous advices. I would say that it's good that you can spend your USDC, but the regulatory part is still with the players that are on the market for decades, and you play by their rules. You don't play by the blockchain or crypto rules.
You also pay their fees, right?
Of course, and it's the most important part, because merchants, they pay a lot of fees to Visa and MasterCard. We all know that these are US companies, and some countries on the governmental level, they don't want to send the fees and the data to the only to US. They want it to keep inside. That's why they're building national payment systems, but they need tools for the mass adoption.
You brought up like several points that set off some light bulbs for me. Because like when I think about this, card processors really are like a massive breakthrough. And now that smartphones have become so ubiquitous, it's like anyone can accept a card payment with a card that has a chip on it, right? Like that is now completely accepted. You also have the innovation of stablecoins and the ability to have a secure, reliable mechanism of transaction. You got other cryptocurrencies that have all these different use cases, right? But you like all of a sudden you can combine all of those too. And then when you combine them all, you've got like this, you're stacking technological breakthroughs where it's like a merchant in Mumbai or Nigeria can accept a card payment on their phone, but they don't necessarily want to pay Visa, they don't want to pay MasterCard, and they can accept a card. So that puts you guys in the perfect place to like process those transactions. And you think about like the government level, look, CBCs are a very controversial topic. We're not afraid of that topic, mainly because uh, we believe that if they're coming, we want to do everything we can to ensure that they're private. Basically, like if the cat is out of the bag, and this technology is an unstoppable force, like there's pushback in different countries. Different countries, it's already a standard, right? But if it is going to be more of a standard, we got to push for privacy. we have to protect the users, we have to protect their accounts, and ideally, they'll also want privacy. We've got pilot programs around this that we've announced, and that's because we want them to embrace privacy. And I think when you think about that, you also think about, okay, well, if they do embrace privacy, how are they going to embrace a form factor that everyone get behind that's going to actually increase the velocity of transactions, be cost effective? Well, you're going to use crypto. You're going to embrace privacy to protect the assets and protect everyone. And a card is a perfect form factor for that use case. And if like that's how that stuff rolls out and these things are private and people are protected and the institution that's issuing the funds uh, has some visibility, but there's still confidentiality on your private data and private information, that's huge. I mean, it becomes much less of a threat to rights. So I think that that's really really key. I think the other piece to this that I think about is uh, privacy enables the ability for digital identities, tokenized assets, real world assets to all come on chain. I don't think these things come on chain at the velocity that people hope that they'll come on chain without privacy. But I think a lot of those things can all be powered by hardware. So how do you kind of visualize moving beyond just like stable coins and tokens to tokenized assets and these things eventually reaching the hardware level?
It's a good thing that you've mentioned tokenized assets. I just want to get one point back. You've mentioned the uh, POS terminal as the phone, right? And uh, two things to add here. I guess one of the most important parts of mass adoption that is still lacking is gasless transactions, because
Mm,
we see it a lot with especially new users. They don't understand why they need to pay fees in other coin than they're sending. For example, I'm sending USDC, but I still need to have Ethereum to pay the gas fees. And it's a big thing that is lacking in the mass adoption part. And we have some prototypes and pilots in that thing. So
let's
uh,
go.
that's a big thing also lacking in the mass adoption. And the second part is having the smartphone as a POS terminal is groundbreaking transformation, because we can create micro economies in countries where, for example, I am a farmer and I am just a consumer that I'm buying some products and goods from you. We just can create a transactions between ourselves. You have a phone with a card, I have a card, I pay with your phone, you receive a funds. We have created a transaction. Then this farmer goes and transaction with other farmer, and they exchange with each other, and it's creating a microeconomy inside one country within, I don't know, even like 30, 40 people, and they're totally independent from the whole other world. And they're using stable coins, they're using cards, and they're using their smartphone. They don't need anything else. This is the freedom. I guess this is the next level of the whole financial freedom. Getting back to tokenization. So even like in 2018, no one was talking about tokenization as it is being talked right now. Like the whole market is being like 100 billions valuation for now, and it tends to be trillions by 2030. I understand that the trend is big. We lack a regulation here. So I know that a lot of governments work in terms of regulation. We see a lot of potential here, because the self custody of tokenized assets is very important part. You
Mm,
don't want your tokenized gold or tokenized shares of your, I don't know, apartment that you have bought, right, or real estate, whatever you tokenized. You don't want it to be stored somewhere in centralized exchange, or the software wallet that can be compromised, or can be your phone can be stolen. You won't get back access to it. So having something like self-custody tool, like a card form factor or any other hardware wallet, gives you the confidence that you will still be able to get access to your tokenized assets. Also, the one of the biggest use cases that we see is the identity, like decentralized identity tokens being stored on the card, when the card can be a representation of your digital identity. And you just need to tap, for example, to verify your data that can be encrypted. The transaction can be on COTI, and all the private data can be hidden. And it's the future, because right now you have.
Oh, it looks like he tuned out. We lost him for a moment. Love the thought he was on. So let's see if we get him back. Hang tight. If you guys are tuning in while we're having this little technical glitch, we'll see if we can get him back. If so, we'll continue. If not, we'll close out. But I've got a comment chat here, so let me get a wave if you're tuning in. Let me know where you're from. Leave a comment. Make sure that you like the stream and share the stream. And we'll see if we can get Dan back here in just a moment. Cool. I think we'll be able to get him back. Great. Let's see if we can get him back on stage. There we go.
I'm here.
Voila.
I hope
you're here.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry
All
for that.
good. Okay, it happens. Just a blip. I was just telling everyone to say hi while you were gone. Leave a comment, like the stream, say what's up, ask a question if you have one. But I love the track that you were talking about, which is like why, like, because we talked about all these technological innovations, and I agree. The cell phone point of sale is like actually insane. People don't realize how difficult it was to get a POS before, and like the fees that go into the when you tap your card on all these different things, the fees on those things are wild. I mean, we're talking about like 1% to 3% at times. Like, I mean, it's like 3%. Like, it's a lot of money, and you want your business to succeed. So if you're doing $1 million a year, you're paying 3% of those fees. That is going to be able to go out the window with technology like United Network and being able to accept these fees. But you were talking about like the importance of privacy when it comes to these assets on chain, and why you believe privacy is so critical, and why you guys chose to integrate COTI into United Network for this purpose, kind of seeing where the trend is going. So I want you to finish your thoughts there.
Yeah, so I guess I was talking about digital identity and the whole verification system for digital identity. For example, if you want to verify yourself when you're visiting some event, or I don't know, some governmental entity, you can tap your card, which can be your card with the tokens, your digital identity card, like a passport, or it can be a storage for your tokenized gold that you keep here as a token. It can be all in one place. And having private transaction here is important, because if you want to hide and to have this. Are we out again? Are we out again?
I think we're back.
I think we're back.
It's
Sorry,
so
I don't
over.
know.
We're so back. I think that's the nature of things right now.
yeah. I don't know if it is the internet or what's going on.
I'm
but
not sure.
yeah,
All
I
good.
don't. I think they don't want us to talk about the digital identity. They try to stop us. So
all good. With that, since we're having a few little tech issues, we'll start to sort of wrap up here. But yeah, we almost couldn't restream today because the servers were having trouble. So it's probably on the server side. I think we're off the hook here. Let's talk about looking ahead. What's next for you guys? What are you working on for the rest of the year and beyond?
so right now we are focused on business part of the product. So we've launched 6 months ago, and we've spent a lot of time of making the product available on the market. So we have our own shop where you can buy our cards. We have our own logistics partner that will send it out anywhere you are in the world. You can buy it by your card, by crypto, whatever you have. You can go to shop.united.network. And in the future, we have the part of R&D of this dual interface card where you can have your non-custodial software on the chip, and you can have, for example, national payment system software existing on the same chip, and they can integrate with each other, communicate with each other, exchanging data if it is needed. And that's the future that we see for the whole CBDC and stablecoin integrations. So that's what we have in place. Also, we're gonna rework a little bit, not rework to. We have plans for the product that we internally call the Stealth Card, which gonna have even more advanced security in terms of several private keys, several PIN codes. Each PIN code will reveal different balance and different private key. So it solves the problem if someone asks you politely to show your balance on the card, and you don't want to show your millions. You just enter your PIN code 4 zeros, and it will show your $100 balance, and you're fine. But then you come home and you enter your 4 time 1111, and you see your millions there, and you're safe from that. So it's kind of a small things that will add a lot to user confidence of using the wallet. And also, as for today, we're fully bootstrapped, so we didn't attract any investments yet, and we are in the process of getting the first round for us. So it's also, thank you, and it's also the big thing for us in the upcoming month.
Amazing. Well, look, you guys have an amazing product. You've got way more than an MVP.
Yes.
You have a maximum viable product. It's a really an incredible tool, and I think that anyone who's got a small business who's looking to accept crypto as a payment should be looking to United Network. I'm excited for all the work that you guys are going to be doing there, and want to just thank you personally for integrating COTI for private transactions, and encourage everyone to go grab a United Network wallet. If you haven't yet, make sure to join our giveaway. It's on TaskOn, where we're giving away 10 United Network hardware wallets, and those 10 winners also get 2,500 COTI tokens each to get some tokens in their wallet. There you go. You can see it right there. Look at that. We got a little product placement. Look how sleek.
Yeah.
It's looking slick. You can have one of those delivered into your inbox or to your mailbox, your physical mailbox, shipped around the world if you join the giveaway. So make sure to join the giveaway. We're going to run it all month. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Really appreciate you all. Dan, thanks for joining, man. This was killer. It was really great to hear the backstory of United Network, how you're thinking about both privacy, but also about usability of crypto and kind of where the trend is headed. And honestly, doing the hard work of protecting people, their data, and their assets so that they can safely transact, as we know is so critical in the space. So with that, any final words before we close out?
Thanks for having me here. And I also want to thank the whole COTI team. We've been working for, I would say, like 4 or 5 months together, and all of you guys are amazing. It's really pleasure to work with the guys with the similar mentality and the philosophy in the blockchain. So thanks to COTI community as well. We had a very warm welcome when we first appeared in October in your socials. So thanks a lot, guys. Stay safe, stay secure, stay private, and stay in self-custody tools. Thank you very much.
I love it. Stay private, stay COTI. We'll catch you guys on the next Privacy Paradigm live stream. That is it for now. Thank you for tuning in.